everybody that tells you that they can multitask, you know for a fact they're full of shit.
They're just shitty at one thing.
They're or shitty at multiple things.
Yeah. At the same time.
Yeah. I guess that could be considered multitasking.
Right before you got here, I had almost a full pot of my wife's homemade zuppa toscana.
Tell me more about this.
And
what's zuppa toscana?
Zuppa toscana.
Toscana
is it's basically, it means soup from Tuscany.
Oh, I was in Tuscany.
Yeah, you probably had some. It's it's the kind that has kale, potatoes, sausage. It's like cream. And
okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So far, I've had really good kind. I've had it. The only place I really had it, or the first place I had it, let me say, was Olive Garden. So that's when I was introduced to it. That's.
I'm done with this episode.
Well, listen, that was years ago. I was in my youth. I was in Florida, Jeff. Honestly,
okay.
If that's the worst thing I'm ingesting, come on. I'm doing a good
in
job.
Florida, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to start this show out by first of all saying shout out to my wife.
Okay. Shout out to Dom
for being such a fucking phenomenal cook that I almost eat myself to death every time she cooks something. Like when she cooks something like from here.
Yeah.
I feel it here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
solidarity,
saying?
my brother.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
but
I do the same thing.
I also want to just follow that up with an apology to all of the other people listening that have wives that are or spouses that are incredible cooks,
right? But
that think that they're the best because it's actually my wife.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. You're going to be wrong. But
No. I'm right. She's the greatest cook of all time.
What we can agree upon is that you're wrong. That
I don't agree with that. We can agree to disagree on that.
Okay.
And this is not in a chauvinistic way. This is like a pure talent that she has. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how you say jiu-jitsu is like my pure talent?
You know how you say that about you?
Yeah, you say that all the time about me. I cook too. I do my shit, but like I'm like.
But she's better because
I'm
she's
reading
a
the back
woman.
of the box. I'm like, yup. Okay, so butter now.
That's how my wife cooks the same way. She doesn't actually follow instructions at all. Mm-hmm. And so one of the downsides is she's like, enjoy it now, motherfucker, because I don't remember how I made it.
That's awesome. Well, okay, so how about this? So you have your favorite thing that your wife makes.
Yes.
I want to put this up. We have a competition where we have all of our wife's favorite dishes on the table. We put them all up against each other, see who wins.
You're going to lose.
And her husband's
But you know what?
Losing,
I think losing is like winning, though, in this case.
You think so?
Right, because, I mean, think of all the good food you get to eat. So even when you lose, you win.
You've discovered my plan. We just have the best food in the fucking world because I know it's subjective, but they don't know that because I'll cut this part out.
Yeah, that's smart. I like this.
Boom.
I'll drink to that.
Blind judging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where we say like, okay, spaghetti meatballs is good. You know what I mean? But like, soap and rice, that was pretty fucking good. Because I'll enter the contest. I put my popcorn up to anybody's.
How do you make your popcorn?
Dutch oven. And no, not farts. Basically, I get the kernels, the regular kernels.
Yeah.
I get the oil.
Yep.
You'd
use oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I warm it up.
Yep.
Put the kernels in there.
Yep.
Pop it up.
Yep.
Usually I've actually...
Check.
Everything I do takes time. Way too much time.
Yeah, no. I do the same thing for popcorn.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like I'll take my it's better. I will put it up to any popcorn that you've had. It is the best popcorn in the world.
That is bold talk, my friend.
And I no exaggeration. You could wake me, Jeff. You could wake me from a dead sleep, and I'll make you this popcorn, and you're gonna go, "What the fuck? That's amazing."
What just happened to me? I got speaking of popcorn, my eldest used to work at the movie theater. Greatest job, and I think it would be just an awesome
free
job.
Movies, free popcorn,
yeah,
free candy.
Nobody needs to know about that. But when she worked there, that was the whole thing. I like movie theater popcorn.
Yeah, it's great.
With extra butter.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of it. Think it's awesome. Actually, you can't get enough of it. You know, when you get down to the bottom, you're kind of like, I'm done with this. I've had enough of this shit.
It's where you feel like you have to shit, but you can't.
Yeah, because it's
what's
not
happening with my body.
Yeah, the popcorn wants to come out, but the butter won't let it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so anyway, I'm like, hey, you should bring me some popcorn. And she did. She would bring me popcorn, on occasion. But then she went there was a spell where there was no popcorn at the end of her shift, and I was feeling a little left out. Mm-hmm. Well, she made up for it one night when she came home with an entire garbage bag. I mean, a full-size garbage bag.
I've heard of the garbage bag before.
Full of popcorn.
I love it.
I was like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Eat it.
I tried.
Oh, really?
I did.
How long did it make?
I threw it out like the next day or
like
whatever.
3 handfuls.
Yeah, because it was bad.
You're like,
am
I eating trash?
Yeah. Yeah, and the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, fuck,
100%.
I'm eating trash.
I'm eating trash.
And hey, you know what? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
I've never done that. But I did work at a Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, a couple different chains. And there was definitely some expired candy that needed to be thrown away that I'm like, Nestle Crunch is not food. It's not going to go bad.
Yeah. Like I'm curious about this. Do you miss working in video rental stores?
I do miss it, but I don't feel like I hated the customers, but I also loved.
Why did you hate the customers?
Because they were honestly, I hate to play the stereotype of the video store guy that hates the customers, but their taste was usually awful.
Okay.
And I'm saying I don't have great taste, but I don't have shitty taste. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But like people would come up, how like when a movie would come out, there's a stretch of time where movies would come out in theaters, like Transformers. And then like a movie
worst movie ever.
Right. Well, I mean, a very big hit. Hey, people would love it.
Yeah, Michael Bay. Shout out to Michael Bay. You make shitty movies.
Yeah, you make awful movies, but people love them, and you know what? Got more power to you. I
guess. Stop making shitty movies,
please. But they would make straight to DVD movies, like called Transmorphers.
Yeah.
A lower budget.
Sure, of course.
That's it.
Right,
the writing's about the same.
Yeah. It's like the GoBots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's actually a great point. Yeah. They did that with Pirates. So the movie Pirates, with Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
they did
Pirates of the Caribbean. You mean
Pirates? Oh yeah, sorry, Pirates of the Caribbean, trademark registered, Disney.
Yeah,
Heil Disney.
Well done, well done.
There's a.
Oh fuck you, Disney.
There's
anyway,
a rip-off version of it, but their rip-off version, Jeff.
Yeah,
is a pornography movie.
Ooh.
Whoa. So guess who's very interested in it now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the fuck did we get a copy of this? Jeff, this is a PG-13 version of a porno version of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, explain this to me. How does this function?
Waste of time. That's how I can explain it
to you. There
was
no nudity?
No nudity. There was.
So where's the porno component come in?
Just starring porno stars.
Oh. Okay, so this was their valid attempt at breaking into like the.
They were. You know how they do like the porno version of every big Hollywood movie too.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
Right.
They would. So for some reason we got a PG-13 version of it, and I think it was solely, Jeff, just to say like, holy shit, they made a mistake. I'm gonna rent this, take it home, and then they're gonna be like, oh, and then they're gonna come back and they're gonna be too ashamed to complain. So, like, they pulled a little bit of fucking sneaky shit at Hollywood Video, but I respect that. And I got to say, that was the part that when people would bring up those Transmorpher movies or anything like that, I would be like,
really?
This is like $7, dude. Like, you said you didn't have enough money to pay for your late fees.
Right.
So now you're paying $7 to rent Transmorphers. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I just judge the fuck out of these people.
So I'm curious to know, what was the title of the film? Do you remember?
What, Transmorphers?
No. The porno one. For the porno,
it was Pirates.
It was just called Pirates?
It's like Pirates, but it's like, how they have to put somewhere in the text, not a pirate. I could probably...
Not of the Caribbean?
Yeah, I try to keep this computer clean, Jeff. I don't want to search it because I'm going to go PG-13. And, yeah.
Well, with that said... We're on episode 8 of the 6 a.m. podcast, season 3, episode 8. Welcome, everybody. Here's a question for you.
What up?
Did you see that Steve from Blue's Clues came back to, like, talk about saying thank you to
Yeah.
all the. Did you see that on the internet?
I didn't actually even, I haven't watched the physical video, but I have seen all of the clips, and I've seen what he said. Like I saw.
Yeah, totally beautiful.
Yeah,
It was great. Okay, but let
Very
me ask.
sweet.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the whole world right now.
Oh.
Okay,
You
I'm
guys.
talking to everybody out here in podcast land. Pat, I'm of course referencing to you. The question I have is, why are you guys such a bunch of sissies?
Bro.
Every headline I read, this one's gonna make you cry. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm a sensitive dude. All right, I'm not
I
ashamed.
cry at a lot.
I'm not ashamed. I don't, but I'm not ashamed to cry. Okay,
Me neither. You're right.
I don't either. I don't cry either.
Because I don't do it.
I'm not afraid of my emotions. Okay?
Right, yeah,
How about
yeah.
that? All right. So I actually watched it in hopes of getting something like really cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was like, I don't know why you people are fucking crying over this.
Dom was like, "Oh, I think it's because some people were too old for Blue's Clues," and I'm like, "You're a year younger than me. How did it affect you?" And she's like, "Oh, because her niece watched it, and she used to watch her niece,
Sure.
and like
Right.
they used to play, and like it basically was because she was being nostalgic about her like that time. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
that,
I
it
mean,
was that,
Blue's
nice
Clues
memories
is
yeah.
only connected to my children.
And
I
it's-
didn't watch Blue's Clues.
Right. Like, how about them? Did any of your kids watch it and feel anything?
No, they didn't watch it anyway, and they didn't like. I could tell them that was the case, and they'd be like, "Who the fuck's Steve?"
Also, yeah. They'll be like, "I don't remember this.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking." Or
Right.
maybe they'll be like, "Yeah, I remember that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, he looks weird." Man, I feel like he was such a piece of shit for like coming back because like, what are you gonna do, Steve?
Did you just say that Steve was a piece of shit?
Yeah, man. How are you gonna help us?
Like now?
It didn't get me in the field. Not only did it not get me in the fields, but I'm also like, what do you? He's coming back to say like, "Oh, you guys all thought I was gone, but I'm not. But I'm back. But bye." Like, what are you fucking doing, Steve? Like, so you just made
This
everybody
is a very
cry.
dark turn of events. Yeah, you just
gotta-
made everybody cry and you left again. Maybe he is a piece of shit.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're just coming
That's
back.
fascinating.
It seems very selfish to me to come back and to say like, "Hey guys, let's make it about Steve again." Oh, by the way, Steve's gone. He's like, dude, he's like the fucking dad that keeps leaving for cigarettes.
Yeah, and right.
Stop doing this to us, Steve. Stop making us fucking cry, you loser. You dark bitch. Why is he wearing a hat now, too? I don't understand that.
I don't know. Male pattern baldness.
But I do recognize him.
Yes,
I
of
think it
course.
is that. I think he was bald. Yeah, I think.
Oh,
that's
was
true.
he?
I don't know if he's holding on to some of it. Maybe.
Well, listen. It's going to come as a big surprise to you, but I don't follow Steve's life.
nobody was thinking about Steve, bro. I could write a movie called "Nobody Was Thinking About Steve" just from all of the feelings I felt since this has happened in such a negative like it's almost like contacting Mr. Rogers on a Ouija board. Nobody's gonna feel better.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh my god, is he stuck somewhere? Is he in the walls? You know what I mean? Like nobody's gonna feel better about like hearing Mr. Rogers' voice again unless you're
Right.
hearing it from the time when you were a kid.
Correct.
And
right.
like new Steve doesn't do anything for new kids, and new Steve doesn't. It only
doesn't
makes
do anything
us
for the
cry.
for the adults.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like-
Yeah.
So yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, I guess
What?
then
What's up, Steve?
my big question then to all of our 6am listeners is, in what way did Steve touch you?
Oh no! There's a class action suit. That's what he's doing back. I knew it.
I mean, you could just write into the show and let us know. In what ways did Steve touch you?
Contact us today. We can protect you. We'll fucking choke Steve out if he tries to do it again.
That's right. So what are we talking about today, Pat? The main topic for today. What are we going to talk about?
The main topic, I believe, was assembling our crew.
Who is the crew, Pat?
The crew it's the crew. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
man, we're going to talk about like the crew. All right. So everybody remembers. I mean, I'm sure at some point in your lives, you had a crew.
Yeah.
You had you had a group of people that you hung out with so often, and that you just were a crew, and you
Yeah.
considered them that thing, right?
Yeah.
And you might have found them like in your social groups. Like for me, definitely like in the punk rock community, you had a crew. And like the punk rock community is huge, but you still had that group of people that was like those were the ones that you raised hell with, got in trouble with. That was
Yeah.
your crew, right?
Yeah.
Skateboarding the same way.
Yeah.
And you also found that a lot in like organized sports, right? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe like even the whole team for the most part. Not everybody.
Yeah, I don't
on
think
the
it's
team, but
it depends on the thing. I didn't do a lot of team sports growing up. Like
I didn't either, for that matter.
but I assume.
But you see it. But you see it a lot. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw it a
like,
lot.
They function and fight They function and play like a team. Like you have a crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the weird things that we were talking about today is that in jiu-jitsu that doesn't really exist.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, there's been changes to other sports in the past, but like this one is growing. Like it's so cool how much it's grown just since I've even personally got into
it. Oh yeah, for sure.
And how like the culture of it and the idea of like it doesn't have to always just be like there's teammates, but there's also like
there's teammates. We were just talking about the Danaher Death Squad a couple episodes ago.
Exactly.
But what you found though more than that, it wasn't like. And I mean I can't speak to their personal relationships. If that was the case, then that's the case. But outwardly, it seemed that like there was more competition in there than there was like unity. Like there wasn't like, oh, we're this unstoppable force.
Right.
It was like each individual was like their own player inside of the Danaher Death Squad versus the Danaher Death Squad being this like crew.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And it dissolved. Mm-hmm. I mean, and so what I think is interesting is like you have instances of these things in jiu-jitsu where you got but for the most part like they tend to like branch off on their own. They kind of just like okay, I'm good enough now to be this. I mean, now's my time.
Right.
And I am, X player from this, team. I fight for Alliance or Atos or whatever.
Right.
And they just go on their own.
It's almost like a band.
It's almost like a band breaking up and then getting a solo record.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they spend this many years together and they help each other grow to the persons that it's a relation. Dude, it's a relationship.
Sure.
And that's the thing is like it's
but
about
is it though in jiu-jitsu though? Is it though? That's the question though. That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying it's not. I'm asking is it?
I think that's the way it's going. You don't choose them. You
know
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this thing that just kind of like melds together.
It is like so. It's just this side of being a crew, right? Because when you have a crew, like that, they are your family,
right?
Like that's like you would do anything for them. Here's an interesting dynamic about it. When like for skateboarding, for instance, when you form a crew. Some of the guys in your crew are really, really fucking good at skateboarding, okay? Some of the guys are moderately okay at skateboarding. And then the rest of them are they just kind of suck, right? I was on the latter part. I just kind of sucked at skateboarding. But
Same, yeah.
but I just loved it, love it. And the thing is that because I had this like interesting dynamic is that I learned a lot more about skateboarding in that dynamic. So I had the guys that were like right next to me that I could be like, and then I had the guys that were way ahead of me who I admired and wanted to be like. Mm-hmm. And so we all helped each other. And so in that way, iron sharpens iron, right? But as good as they got, because the progression level, like the gap would fill in a little bit, but then the guys that were really good would be so much further ahead that there was like, am I ever going to get to that point or whatever? But it didn't matter because they didn't leave. They didn't like go off and be like, well, you guys suck so bad that I'm not going to skate with you anymore, right? Yeah. Because that's not the only reason why you skated together. You had you had a relationship, as you had mentioned.
Okay,
right? Yeah. We had a responsibility to each other to like make each other, to hype each other up, to get better and have fun and find new spots and then just chill together, watch videos, whatever. You know what I mean? And that's what I think is interesting, like what's kind of weird about jiu-jitsu. And again, I could be totally wrong. I mean, I have a very like narrow. I mean,
no, I love I like the specification. Yeah. I know I appreciate because that's what I'm saying is like to me, crew was again almost like a subjective like. Oh, well, my idea of a crew. I think that's a good idea. Yeah. That's a pretty good definition of what a crew is compared to a team or a family or just a family or just a this or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, exactly. Well, and again, in speaking to like the skateboarding community, you would see it grow because as jiu-jitsu's grown, so like skateboarding has really exploded here over the last decade or so, which is really good because there was a huge lull for a while. But these guys that came out of these crews and went pro. And they'd start skating for big company stuff. They would bring their homeboys with them. Even if they weren't the guy that was going to be the next rider on the team, they were maybe worked on graphics or they worked in like filming or they worked in like, but they always brought them with them. It was always about this like because they needed that. They needed that crew to be like, yeah, I'm gonna get hyped. I'm gonna like this is the people I've always skated with. These are my homeboys. Like I'm gonna do this and it made everything better and it gave the opportunity for the guys that maybe like weren't so skilled in other areas to learn how to do these things.
I don't know. It sounds like a team. This sounds like a team because you know what? You're
supposed to
explaining
be.
the less skilled guys that do a little bit, less like the kickers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a football team.
Yeah.
Huh?
Does anybody like the kickers on the football team, though?
Yeah, people like because they're usually weird. Like the goalies.
I don't watch football, so I don't know.
The kickers are pretty well liked. I think the same way, but I don't. I honestly don't know that much.
Well, I think though in the dynamic of the crew that you can. That's what's great about it is that you can have those outliers that are people that like maybe aren't so social. They don't want to be best friends with everybody, but they've got one or two guys that they're really or gals that they're really close with, and that's that's that. But that's okay because that's part of the dynamic. That's what makes it interesting. But what I find is strange and like especially and maybe it's part of the competition side of things in jiu-jitsu and I could probably speak to other combat sports is probably similar. And I know it definitely was with mixed martial arts. Like there was no real team mentality in mixed martial arts.
Right.
Your training partners were meat bags for your training purposes, right? You got along with them, and there were guys that I trained with who I was close with, from the standpoint that we trained really hard, and there was a lot given on those those days that we shared. But for the most part, like if I had to face you, even in a sparring match, I'm beating your ass.
Oh yeah. It's not. You're not going to lose.
Right, I'm not going to lose. Right. Never mind the fact that person could have had a lot to teach me or whatever. I had no plans of that whatsoever. My plan was to shut him down, as quickly as possible.
Right.
In jiu-jitsu, though, there is like this. There's like it is the role, right? There's this, and it's kind of metaphoric in a way, but it's also obviously literal. You're rolling on the mat. Mm-hmm. Okay. But if we look at all of our training partners as training partners and or competition. You might be shutting yourself off from a whole world of like learning new things and being part of a crew, right?
Right.
That's kind of what I'm wondering about. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I observe it as not happening.
I could see that. Yeah,
as fluidly as it would in other areas.
Yeah, a team is like a bunch of independent, almost like an independent cogs in a wheel working together.
Yeah.
Whereas a crew is like
one big cog.
You want it to be the big cog.
Yeah, I want to have the biggest cog.
You want a big, thick cog.
Yeah,
right.
I want that, and I want to be able to whip that big, thick cog.
And we are all
out.
the prongs that stick out that move the fucking all those other bullshit little prongs.
Right.
I mean?
So, but that's a fair point. So, like when it's that's what I'm saying. So when it's your turn to go out and compete, for instance,
big cog energy.
You're the big cog, right?
Yeah.
And everybody else is the spoke.
Big cog swinging.
And then when you're done swinging your cog, it's somebody else's turn.
Yeah,
right. And then you go and be a spoke, and then they're the big cog.
I like that. You say a lot of times you refer to the class as the 6 a.m. crew.
Oh yeah, because
you know what I mean?
Right, because to me, like the closest thing to having a crew in jiu-jitsu is my 6 a.m. class. I'm telling you guys are like I think of you.
That's the exact thing you just said.
Yeah. That's what I think of when I work with you guys. It's not just me teaching. It's we're exchanging ideas and techniques and thought and it extends beyond just because a lot of us hang out too outside of class. Obviously, but yeah, it's about that exchange and that mutual admiration and respect for one another. But that mutual respect and admiration isn't about necessarily, what you think about politically or what you think socially, but that mutual love and respect for jiu-jitsu.
Right, and it's not about necessarily you. Always having to get on a podium. It's about the crew always being on the podium.
That's right. This is like right. Like I think of us as being like on a big poster, right? And like we're like this is the crew, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
I like that.
Yeah. That's how I weird, right? But that's how I envision all of you guys in the 6 a.m. crew. Like,
right.
This is us, and each of us could like nobody's in the front. We can all just kind of like, and I'm not, again, I'm trying to get into like some sort of socialism. Like, it's like there's a hierarchy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
I didn't want anybody to think we're all equal.
Well, yeah. You don't want them making that mistake.
Yeah, don't make the mistake.
I think that even having that mentality of like it's not a gang. It's not an organization. No, but it's
Yeah.
You know, it's not literally like a club. It's not like there is a membership to the gym that you have to pay.
Sure, and that's the gym, right?
So like you have to actually, there is like a literal membership, but other than the membership to the gym that you can go to any of them, like you're a member. If you're a part of the gym, if you're in the world of jiu-jitsu and in the same mindset as us, you're basically a member of the crew. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you should look at that as an opportunity to be part of a crew, right? So that when we see each other out in public, you know, it's like solidarity, right? You know, it's like Fight Club.
Right, yeah. And then, we give a certain... See, this is starting to sound like a gang now, Jeff.
It is starting to sound like a gang. Not giving orders.
Well, no. Let's turn into it.
Okay.
What color do we want?
Oh, great.
There's not a lot left.
There isn't a lot.
Does anybody have orange? I like orange.
That's lame, though.
You don't like orange?
I love orange. That's just
like a burnt orange, though. Like that.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
What if we had more than one color, though? What if it was like a combination of colors? Or does that start to look like... Because, I mean, from a design perspective, I think we should have a primary and secondary.
Like a palette.
Yeah, I have a primary and secondary palette.
Dude, I love it. Yeah, that's a pretty cool... I mean, but see, if we call it a gang, then we're going to get like FBI involved.
Oh, my God. And then they're going to be looking at your computer and all the porn that you've been watching and all the jerking off you've been doing.
Jeff, I have not.
Or that is supposedly you'd been doing. Allegedly been...
Yeah, check my spam folder.
No, I see this guy likes the movie Pirates. They're watching this. They're like, how can this guy jerk off to this?
They're wearing bikinis. They're not even taking the bikinis off. What the fuck? And they're not good actors.
This movie sucks.
It was not great. I got to tell you, the acting was not the best part of that. Except, well, not that acting. You know, the other acting was all right. I eventually got to see the original cut, the Snyder cut of
the director's
Pirates.
cut.
Yeah,
the Snyder cut.
So I feel like
it doesn't right. It doesn't. It's not. I mean, it's not a gang, but it is like. But it feels like that in some ways.
Yeah.
Like, you know. So when you show up for comp, like it would be great if we can go and represent. Right.
Yeah.
Like
yes. Yeah.
Even if you're not competing, you know, to have that support is really important because otherwise, here's what it feels like. When you go and a bunch of people from your gym show up that you're not part of the crew, really, you know.
Yeah.
It's just pressure to perform in front of them.
It shouldn't feel like an obligation. It feel like it should be
like support.
Oh, awesome! Those guys are cheering for me. So the crew, the 6 a.m. crew. I also like the fact that it's neutral. You got a nice neutral. You know, like the crew sounds like. Again, it sounds like almost like it could be anything from like the staff of an old restaurant.
Yeah.
Or again, at a competition,
a fully fledged gang.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
Jeff,
social gathering.
I'm gonna have to cut
of like-minded individuals.
You know, they even did that to juggalos. So I mean, if they're gonna do that to them,
I know.
I feel like, I mean, we're no juggalos, but no, if we have that that mentality of just supporting each other, like that thing, like you're talking about, like it's not even a question of that thing, like.
That's the thing, yeah. I say, like, look at it like this. Like, it's interesting to me because when we can draw the parallels, and we do oftentimes to like some of this, like a lot of this is like kind of counterculture stuff, and it's like we identify these things, we see it all the time. But I use skateboarding as an analogy because it's a perfect one in this particular context. When you go out with your crew, and let's say it doesn't matter if you're filming for the day or whatever, but if you go out with your crew to skate, there's a trick, and you guys you're trying to do that specific trick. You're on your own. You know, because nobody's going to try and do that trick because you're doing the trick, okay? They might do other tricks on the same ledge or bench or whatever, but they're not going to do your trick.
Right.
But they're going to watch you fall, and they're going to watch you eat shit over and over and over again. And they're going to hype you up, and they're going to take care of you, and eventually you're going to land that fucking trick.
Right.
And then you have this entire group that came with you from the start to the landing of that trick, right? They get to celebrate with you, and that's what's so fucking awesome about it.
And that's the thing, yeah.
And jiu-jitsu's a lot like that, right? You're going to have, so when you go, like for instance, if we get this mentality going, if we start this movement, Pat, you know, you've got this crew that goes with you, and they might watch you fail, they might watch you lose,
they will watch
you fail, they will watch you lose, but that's not the point of it. The point is that you will win at some point. I guarantee it, you will, and they're going to be there, and like you've brought everybody along with you on that journey. It's pretty fucking cool, man.
And that's the one you're going to remember a lot more too. That's
you know
what I mean? Like you're going to remember the losses too. Like that's the thing. Is like no matter what, I like.
Dude, I've got so many losses I can't possibly remember all of them.
But that's the thing. It's like it's not about keeping track. It's not. It's it's the same analogy that you can use for belts. It's the same outlook that you can have for all of these things.
Right.
I'm saying like I'm going to compete. Like I'm going for the win. I told Dom that I was like. When I told so funny story about a competition that's coming up that a couple of us are
that's right on, October 9th.
Yeah, and that's going to be
Grappling Industries
in Maryland.
It is in Maryland. Yeah.
So October 9th is a very special day, Jeffrey.
It's a very special day.
It's a day that since just moving up here to Pennsylvania,
a day of moving up
has been compromised.
A day that was compromised
by projects or aspirations of yours truly. On a personal note,
Pat will fuck this up.
So my wonderful cook of a wife has been so patient with me. I waited until
Here comes October 9th.
I forgot about that break. I apologize about that one. I waited until we got to the top of a mountain on a hike on my birthday with
right.
Rick as a witness.
Rick was there.
I said, hey, so Rick was talking about competing.
Oh, it's funny. Rick just
it's funny.
What? Oh, really?
Rick was saying something about some competition. What was the thing you were saying about the competition on October 9th?
What day was it? October 10th, 8th?
You're competing. And she's like, I was like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's a competition coming up. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I was like, it's on a cool day, right? Like, and she's like, let me guess, my birthday? And I was like, no.
Not your birthday.
Not your birthday. And she's like, our anniversary. And I was like,
yay! Happy anniversary, baby.
So
I'm going to fight in Maryland.
So I told my wife I plan on bringing her lots of gold. And I told her that she is more than welcome to melt those metals down and turn them into any jewelry she wants.
That's right. Until you find out.
Is it real gold?
No.
Fuck!
I say until you melt it down and find out it's fucking plastic.
It's plastic?
I don't know what it is.
What is it?
I don't know what it is.
I mean, is it going to be like bronze or something?
No.
I mean, I'm paying money to
I
fucking
don't know.
compete.
I don't know. Each show's got it different, but I guarantee you
symbolic. I guess I'll have to buy her some. Do I win money? Can I get
No, there's no money.
All right. So
no, you actually pay money to do these things.
Yeah. My anniversary, come out to Maryland.
Come out to Maryland and
if
watch
you're part of the crew.
Watch me get some plastic.
Please help me win gold because I may.
Please donate to my.
And if I lose,
my
can
Patreon
I please
page.
come home and stay with you? Because my wife will never want to stay with me ever again. She cooks so well,
yeah,
Jeff. I can't lose her. I'm fighting for my marriage here, Jeff.
I understand.
Not to put too much pressure
on yourself or the crew. Oh, because if you lose, it's their fault.
And I got to stay with one of you.
Yeah.
So October 9th.
Shit's getting it's intense.
No, I did honestly. I did pitch it as I legitimately waited till my birthday until we were at the top of the mountain. She was good and tired.
Were you nervous?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I'm legitimately because I feel bad. It feels like it's not every year, but it feels like a lot of times I've been like,
you're right. I understand.
Hey, can we not it's our 13th wedding anniversary. It's not that it's not magical. It's not that it's anything.
I understand.
I said, we'll if Saturday is the competition, the day after we can do we'll do bougie meals. We'll go anywhere you want for sightseeing. Anything you want to do. Well, that's a nice weekend in Maryland. So go to my GoFundMe page.
You know what this calls for?
Huh?
Life advice from Jeff Beck.
Ooh, I love this.
Okay, so here's the deal, guys.
Help me.
And this is going to help you in all of your relationship woes and worries and concerns. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
If you have something on your mind, okay, you go to your significant other and you just fucking tell them right away. Don't wait.
Oh, yeah.
It's important. Here's the thing, and everybody that's a significant other knows this, okay, unless you're completely clueless, which case then you can wait till whenever or just not tell them at all. Okay?
Yeah.
But most relationships, they know when something's on your mind or something's not right. They've got an instinct, an antenna that picks up on this. And so by the time you tell them, which is usually 4 weeks too late, they already know that you knew about this 4 weeks ago, and you should have just said something in the first place.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if she knew. But
So quit crying like a bitch because Steve was on Facebook talking about some shit.
You nerds.
Get tough and tear the Band-Aid off and just tell them.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I think all that being said is the blow would be softened by the crew.
Yeah, yeah.
You will be more motivated by the crew.
Yes.
And win or lose, you're still part of the crew.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So there you go, man.
So Jeff, what's on your turntable?
Okay, every Saturday I have a routine. Every Saturday morning, okay, I get up early in the morning, Monday through Friday, get up at like 4:30 in the morning, and so Saturdays I sleep in. And that means I get up at 7.
Yeah,
okay,
because
it's all I can do. I can't help it. Okay, so I get up, and then it's usually pretty quiet in the house. Make my coffee, just like it usually is on a 4:30 morning. 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and then I watch skate videos.
Nice.
Okay, guys, like even if you're not a skateboarding fan, watch skate videos. Some of the work in there, not only the skaters, not only the people that are working as professionals, the videography, but just the production of the videos themselves, just fucking brilliant.
Is there something that you subscribe to, or is there like a
no?
Like
You can
on Instagram or
you can, guys. Like if you want like just sort of like the core, where to go to look for like these things, just subscribe to Thrasher.
Okay. Yeah,
so Thrasher is skateboarding's like most popular and longest lived skateboarding magazine, and it's now like most of it's about publishing digital.
Yeah, it's just
stuff.
it's just
still
like
a magazine.
Yeah, it's still like a good media source. Like it's
perfect
like
media source.
It's like such a trusted media source for like.
It's like the pinnacle. It's just quality content, man.
Yeah,
so you just go. So anyway, you can subscribe on YouTube to just Thrasher, and like you can go back and watch the videos for the week. They put out parts all the time, and some of them are rough cuts, and some of them are small parts, some of them are full parts. And anyway, so I watch all of these. I get caught up on the week. It's something I look forward to every week.
Yeah.
And there was a video. And you have to forgive me because I don't remember which one it was now, but I was watching it, and there was because most of the parts have music to them. Okay, and it's one of my favorite parts about parts is like whatever music they selected for whatever you're watching. And there was this great fucking country song on, and I was like, "Yo, this thing is dope as hell." And so I had to look it up, and it was an artist by the name of Andrew Shepard. Okay, now. I don't know about his whole catalog because I only listened to one record. But it was brilliant, man, and the whole fucking record is good. So I have to look up. I had to look up what record. That's why I was like, I couldn't remember the name of the record. Yeah. Okay, but the song. No, I'm sorry. The album. The album is called "Steady Your Aim." Okay, and what I found out about Andrew Shepard, because I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm a bit of an audiophile. So so part of my problems with music is that I can't just hear a song and be like, oh, I really like that song. I have to go look up everything about the artist's lives, where they came from. Like,
are you a registered audiophile?
I have to.
Do you have to go door to door?
It's part of the rules.
Play people your mixtape.
Yeah, it's part of the rules. I have to register for the rest of my life.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I just moved in next door. Here's some stuff I like. Listen to this part.
Yeah.
Listen to this part.
Fucking love it. Yeah, so steady your aim. So anyway, Andrew was like had aspirations of being a pro skateboarder. So he's this guy that comes from like a skateboarding world, which is just kind of like it just kind of blew my mind that like and there's a reason why that song fit that part and why it made sense in there, and then you found out why. Right? Because that's not always the case with the songs in skateboarding videos. It's not every song is written by somebody who skates.
Yeah.
But this one, for some reason, this part just made
like
sense.
The tempo,
yeah,
the
I don't know, man.
Energy
it was weird.
Of the recording,
and the whole fucking album is like that.
Yeah.
And so, if you guys get a chance, and that was a couple weeks ago, and I've been meaning to like bring it in, but then we talked about Houdini last week because
I want to just paint the picture just
ecstasy.
real quick because again, we like to paint the picture for the audio listener. Yeah, and do it. Let's do it for the video listener too.
Sure.
Are you sitting at the kitchen table? Are you sitting on the couch? Do you watch it on TV on YouTube, or do you watch it on your phone on YouTube, on your laptop?
I watch it on my TV. When I watch videos,
Nice,
I watch them on my TV.
Yeah. Put your feet up.
Yeah, I got
like
I got a smart
I love
television.
That morning air. You like open the windows like right there.
It's fucking brilliant, man.
Oh
it's
God.
beautiful.
Yeah. Hot coffee.
Hot coffee. Yeah.
Because I totally identify with what you're talking about, and I had to like picture because sometimes I sit at my table and I'm like, this is not.
Yeah, it's not doing it
It's
for
not
you.
Fulfilling. It's not. Doesn't fill my soul. You know what I
that's
mean?
why I won't watch clips on my phone.
Yeah.
Like I have to see it like on the big screen and like and listen to it.
I totally understand. So I didn't mean to
no,
to
not
butt
at all.
in,
So Andrew Shepard. So check out that record, and then for this week, so you get a double feature for me. Okay, this week, are you a fan of Paint It Black?
Paint It Black. Yes.
Yeah, Paint It Black.
Yes.
Fucking guys. I mean, I love Paint It Black. They can't remember the last time they made. I don't even know if they're still a band.
Probably, yeah.
I think they are.
I feel like there's a lot of bands I miss. I like once I kind of like. I like touched base with them for a little bit, but it was like really short lived.
Okay, well, Painted Black would be one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's like one of those things where you just they happen to be like they were like in a Pandora playlist, and I'm like, of course I love this band, and I'm gonna listen to all the records. So this week I've been listening to Painted Black.
Nice.
You want some? Okay, so Philadelphia-based band. Okay, hardcore punk rock. Former members of Lifetime and Kid Dynamite like got together, made this band. Dude, it is hard as fuck, man.
I don't think I knew that they were Philadelphia based. Like,
They are
like all
Philadelphia-based.
that they had all that history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know the name, and I know that they've like the same idea. Pandora kind of like showed up, or like on a compilation stuff like that.
Sure, they show up. They were on a lot of comps and so forth. But anyway, if you like, man, I mean, great lyrics, great sound, really hard, man. Like, I mean, like, listen to Painted Black, man. You will not be sorry. So anyway, I spent all my time on Andrew Shepherd. Definitely listen to Andrew Shepherd. Definitely listen to Painted Black. What's on your turntable?
Dude, you know what? Fat Aggression.
Okay.
Fat Aggression. You haven't heard of them, probably.
I haven't.
They're my friend's band. My friend's band is Fat Aggression. Fat Aggression was one of my favorite bands because I fucking knew those guys.
Yeah.
I used to go see them all the time when I was a kid, and they fucking rocked.
It's like childhood dream, right?
They kicked fucking ass. In my opinion, they had classic, probably early 2000s punk rock.
Yeah.
A little bit of ska, a little bit of punk, a little bit of rock, emo bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
But like overall, they ended up having a record release party, I remember, that was in my opinion, from my recollection, epic.
Okay.
Huge.
Well, then therefore it was epic.
They had it at Club Venom, where I also saw Lower Class Brats. I saw F- there.
Great band.
So, like, I'm seeing my buddies on the same band that I fucking saw these other, like, iconic, in my opinion, bands.
Sure.
And it's good. I don't have to lie to them.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to pretend
like,
I like it. Yeah.
Fat Aggression was a big part of like
I love Norwegian black metal.
I did. Dimmu Borgir. Shout out to those guys. I'm getting 3 bands in. See, you do 2 bands, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, Jeff,
I got 3 bands.
All of these.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
But Fat Aggression in particular, because recently a buddy of mine posted on Facebook, and I was really excited to see. They are now on Spotify. He's like, I finally got my old band, Fat Aggression, on Spotify. Great. Go check them out. Like, it's strictly for nostalgia.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Go check them out.
Yeah.
They are, and honestly, they should be proud of it. Like, it was
agree.
fucking really good.
I agree.
Like, I genuinely can say that.
And I'm going to tell you what I agree with in a minute.
Oh, no,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
But, like, my favorite part was, like, I had friends who were artists that didn't suck. And,
yes,
and
that's what I was going to agree with.
Right. The fact that one of my favorite lines from a Refused song growing up, 4 bands, good friends can't save bad paintings.
Yeah.
You can't, like, you're not going to help somebody by telling them that their shitty art is good. Help them by telling them their shitty art is shit. And don't fucking blow smoke up their ass. And Fat Aggression to me is the epitome of that. It's not like, it's so cool. It's like a little time capsule. Check out Fat Aggression. I think the album it's called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, Opine.
Okay.
I never knew exactly.
Yeah, but we'll know how to find it, though.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Okay, good.
So check them out.
Yeah, great. I mean, I couldn't agree more with you. Look, I've been fortunate enough to be around, the scene long enough to have friends that were in bands and so forth. And
the crew.
The crew. For sure. Yeah.
Because that's my crew. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like, look, that was the connection of, like, that's my fucking crew.
Exactly. You know what time it is? It's time to... Oh, Ask a Black Belt. Here we go. Yeah. Ryan from Tennessee says.
So, hey, dude, it's Ryan from the gym. I don't come to 6 a.m. often. You probably know my brother.
I do
Aaron.
know your brother.
Yep.
Yes, and Ryan, I know you as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anywho, I have a Ask a Black Belt question. Is it a, quote, dick move? To drive.
The answer is yes, Ryan.
To drive your dick into. Let me finish. Is it a dick move to drive your elbows into a training partner's thighs to break their guard. I've seen some conflicting opinions on this, and then some side note, and also a big thanks to Ryan and also Aaron.
Yeah,
for having a brother.
Yeah, good job, Aaron, for having a brother.
Thanks.
I don't know how you made that happen since you had nothing to do with your mom and dad's procreation, but
I'm sure if depending on who's older, right?
Well, I guess because if Aaron's older and he didn't suck as a child, they decided to have another child. Or
if he slept through the night,
or it could be that Aaron sucks so bad that they're like, we got to get another one.
Oh, we got to do this
counter
again.
This
yeah,
one.
we got to fix this.
Ryan, you're going to have to let us know which one it was.
Yeah, back at Baby Mermaid Productions, either on Instagram or babymermaidproductions@gmail.com.
That's
with your Ask a Black Belt question and or the answer to that one. But
Indeed.
in the meantime. Is that a dick move, brother?
Yeah, is it a dick move? First of all, Ryan, I know who you are, and yes, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Dick. Is it a dick?
Yeah, dick.
If it's a dick move, yes, it's a dick move. It's 100% of a dick move, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Usually, I don't have strong feelings about this. If you guys sign up to participate in combat sports, like. Part of me says you get what you get. Like sometimes, like things get rough, or people do things that they don't know hurt as bad as they do, or don't care if it hurts as bad as it does. I'm sorry.
Are we stopping? Oh, all right.
Was this an open invitation?
He just wanted to get closer. Look, he's got his black belt. He wants to know.
Okay, here we go. Stanley, I tell you, we're gonna have to redefine the nature of our relationship.
Yeah, this is really unprofessional.
It's very unprofessional. Okay. So here's the deal. Yes, it's a dick move, and here's why. Because digging your elbows into somebody's thighs, although it's taught early on in some arenas about how to break the guard, we're talking about, for our podcast listeners that don't know what we're talking about when you are stuck in the full guard, which is somebody has their legs wrapped around you with their back on the mat, and you're trying to get out of those legs. Can I use my elbows and dig them into somebody's thighs to break that guard? And it breaks because of pain, so you cause a lot of pain. The reason it's a dick move is because, number one, you're taught that early on. Possibly. Not everybody's taught that. But
legitimately was, yes.
Yeah. Legitimately taught, like, to do these things. And the problem is that about after, and I would say it may happen sooner than that, but definitely after blue belt, you stop giving a shit if anyone digs their elbows into your thighs.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not a legitimate way to break the guard. It doesn't work. And if you do it to me and it hurts, you just made me mad.
Yeah.
Also, I will note this from a technique standpoint, that if you are focused on digging your elbows into my thighs, I will take full advantage of that, and you will find yourself in a triangle choke.
Yeah.
Right, because you'll be too slow to get your arms back to the center and stop me from throwing that triangle choke.
Right.
I'll tell you this too, Ryan, and that is I usually judge the dick move based on the look on your face.
Yeah.
So if you dig your elbows into my thighs and you look like you're like you're going to show me what time it is, wrong, motherfucker.
Right.
I'm going to show you what time it is.
Exactly.
And so, but if you're just like doing it because you think it's going to work and you try it, I don't get mad about that.
Yeah.
It's not really a dick move. It's just you're trying to find an opportunity or an option to get those legs open. But here's the thing. Keep this in the back of your mind. And for everybody who's listening to this, he's got his eyes closed and everything. Keep this in the back of your mind. This does not work very well after blue belt. Okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, like, you're gonna get arm barred or triangled or omoplated. So.
All right. So we have one from guess who, fellow HGH user. I've started juicing too.
Oh, did you start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luke set me up with this guy. So if you want to see, but Luke, wonderful Luke has.
I don't know the guy.
He has. This is actually technically a AABBB. Ask a bearded black belt. So this is official. Okay. What is your beard routine for maintaining such a mammoth mane, and does it get caught while rolling?
Well, thank you, Luke.
He snuck two questions in.
I know. I think we're going to
Wait a minute.
Well, anyway, Luke, thanks for the question. And you know what? Since you are like I would say like easily one of our number one fans, if not the number one fan, you can ask as many questions as you'd like.
Yes.
So here we go. Luke, the question is, how do I manage and maintain this manly mane? Well, it's quite simple, really. I do have a variety of products that I've purchased from the Target.
Ooh.
That is directly related to beard care. And I tell you, if you have a beard and you are looking for products that will help with itchiness, dry skin, growth of your beard, and a.
So you're using HGH too?
I am.
Oh, I see.
It's straight HGH. The key to the HGH is inject it directly into your balls, and you'll grow a manly mane just like this one. All right,
that's good.
You can find this at Target. It's in the
beard care
the
aisle.
The man care section.
Care aisle.
Man care section.
Do you really use like Target stuff?
I do, and they have a variety of them. But like I have a beard shampoo that I use specifically for the beard.
And you have like a routine, like you do.
Yeah, and I have a beard it's like a beard. Either I have an oil and I also have a cream. I use the cream most. That I don't use the oil as much. But yeah, and it's just a dabble do you, like a nickel size, like dabble do you. Put it in your hands, rub that through the beard, keeps it soft, smelling good all day. And I comb my beard. Yeah. Oh. So I wash it and comb it. That's how I keep it. Does it get tangled during grappling? Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
But again, just like someone digging their elbows into your thighs, you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah, that's something that's the thing that I've apologized way more for.
Yeah, grabbing someone's beard.
Grabbing someone's beard or something like that, because I've had different lengths of beard.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Jump down. I've had different lengths of beard. I've had all that stuff, and I've had it where it gets caught. It's the same way with when you roll with somebody with long hair, whether it be a lady or gentleman.
Yeah.
Anybody with a little bun or something like that.
I try to be sensitive about those things, but like if it happens, it happens. I liken it to like accidentally if someone's wearing a rash guard under their gi, and I grab their rash guard when I'm trying. Like I try to let go of it and reassess, re-grab. But like if it happens, it happens. It's not a big deal. I'm not doing it to be a dickhead.
Yeah, it's not like digging your knees in. It's not like an actual.
Yeah. And if it hurts, and they go ow, then I'm like, okay, we'll let go of it. But if you don't complain, then I get a chunk of your hair. That's the way it goes.
I'm going to try that a lot more. I'm going to just say "ow" a lot more to see if you just let me out of things.
They will. They'll just stop.
Like I'm gonna go pull guard, but you're going to end up like either like in side control or something. And I go "ow," and you're going to go "what?" And
it's important. It's important to note, guys, that like when we set out the rules. We set out the
showing up or not.
When we set out the rules for kids competition, we make sure it's right there. It's all here for you.
Like,
enjoy,
Jeff.
No, please
not now. This is the visual representation of our last show.
It's exactly what it is.
We're still gonna have the same rating right here at the end, and he's in my shot too.
Look,
what the fuck? How do you do this?
He's everywhere. Oh my god!
What the hell?
Look, and he's looking at me right in the eyes.
This is a visual protest. He's becoming a harness cat. So. He wants America to know he's being abused, apparently.
Listen, when we set out like for in-house tournaments and when the kids are competing, we'd let the parents know that like there are several ways for your child to tap, but if your kid says "ow," fight's over. That's a verbal tap. Just so everybody knows, if you say "ow," like
okay, so if you say "ow," then you stop me because you're saying you won.
You win.
Well,
right.
fuck.
Yeah.
So right, well, I'm not gonna pull out your beard then.
Well, there you go, man.
Yeah.
I've
done that many times rolling with Jeff, where I just go like, "Give me that son of a, give it to me."
I just gotta ask: does anybody notice that anything's missing?
Oh, what a wonderful show!
What a great show, Pat. Thank you so much for dropping by the studio.
Jeff, I want to thank you for dropping by my life. Just dropping in and just making it better.
You are quite welcome. I know I've been gone for a long time, and you may have felt that I left abruptly, but